Hello everyone and welcome to our next session. I hope everyone is feeling well and healthy as usual, ready to move and really just relax. Today's session is all about maxing, relaxing, calming the body down. Um, as you can see, I'm on a bed. So this is another one of the sessions in which you don't need a mat. You don't have to do it on a bed. You can do it on a bed. You can do it on the floor, on a carpet, on any flat surface really. If you do have issues with your knees, maybe your knees are sore and you don't want to do it on the floor, you can then maybe grab a pillow or something and then put it underneath the knees. Also, you don't really need props. You don't really need blocks and straps for this one, although you might want to use a block or a pillow, and if you're on your bed, then luckily you've got pillows right there. This session really was inspired by the stretch session that I do before I sleep. It's a very calming, relaxing session, really to just loosen up the body, open up the lungs, and just relax the mind. So yes, we'll get started the same way we usually do. So with our legs crossed, here you can already put something underneath your bum. Especially if you're on a bed, then the hips tend to sink low into the bed, and it's quite helpful if the hips are above the knees, or at least in line with the knees. So you can either add something underneath the bum or you don't have to. We just start off by bringing ourselves into the present moment. So we bring ourselves into the space, and in the space it's just you, your body, and your surface beneath you. Anything and everything that is not directly in the space, we leave outside of the space and therefore outside of our minds. Then starting to bring the mind to the breath. At first, just feeling how we're breathing. We don't have to force or change anything just yet. Just being aware of the breath. Bringing yourself into the present moment. The breath can often be an anchor in bringing ourselves into the moment. It's the one thing that we're doing in every moment. Setting an intention for the practice ahead. And then once we feel grounded in our intention and in our breath, we start to breathe deeper. So really expanding the lungs as we inhale. And pulling the belly back in as we exhale. Allowing the belly to open as we breathe. And then we pull it back in as we exhale. We're just going to start off by rolling the neck just over through the front of the body from side to side. In this session we're going to have quite a bit of dynamic movement that is paired with static movement. So our dynamic movements are going to prepare us to hold the pose statically. Just stopping with the head over to the right, breathing here. And then release the head coming down and then to the left, breathing here. And then drop the head backward, stretching through the front of the neck. Release the shoulders down as far down as they can go. And then bring the head back up. Rolling through the shoulders now. Changing directions. And then we bring the shoulders to stillness, coming onto our hands and knees, and then we're just going to go straight into our child's pose. So just stretching through the shoulders once again, loosening through the spine, taking big breaths. On our next inhale, rolling the spine, coming onto your hands and knees. The knees are directly underneath the hips, wrists directly underneath the shoulders. Inhale, dropping the belly, looking up. Exhale, rounding the spine, looking towards the belly. And again, dropping the belly, looking up. Exhale, dropping through the tailbone first, rounding the spine, looking towards the belly. And then one last time, inhale, looking up. And exhale, rounding and looking towards the belly. We're going to go straight into it, bringing our left knee just a little bit back. And then our right knee comes forward. So we're just gently moving into this. So we're in our low lunge. You want to make sure you've got the nice angle here with the hip. And the knee is directly above the ankle. Inhale up here, and then we're going to exhale, straighten the legs slightly, just until you feel a stretch, and then inhale, come forward. And then we exhale, come back again. Inhale, come forward. So the aim of this, you can continue moving with your breath. The aim of this is just to loosen through the body, so you don't have to straighten the leg all the way in the beginning. But hopefully as we do this a little bit more, the leg starts to loosen up and you can lean forward a little bit more and then straighten the leg a little bit more. Really feeling the stretch through the hamstrings in the back and through the hip flexors in the front. And then on our next inhale, we come forward, staying here now, placing the hand on the knee, interlacing the hands on top of the knee, and then we really lean forward with the hips and the chest comes up high. So we're pushing away from the knee with the hands, just slightly. You don't have to straighten the arms all the way. We're just sitting up tall, pushing away from the knee, really feeling the stretch through the hip flexor here in the front. Taking some nice deep breaths. And then we're going to drop the right hand down to your surface. Left hand comes up. Doesn't really matter if your right hand is touching the surface or not. Inhale, growing tall. And as we exhale, we lean over to the right. Now accentuating the stretch through the left side of the body. And then come up again. Inhale, exhale, coming over. Inhale, coming up. So again, we're doing some dynamic movement here. So on our exhale, we come over, and on our inhale, we come up. Just moving with your breath. And you can do whatever you like with this. Move however you like, as long as you feel the stretch through the side of the body. And then on our next exhale, we just hold it there. Maybe you can go a little further on, trying to keep the hips where they are. So trying to keep the hips square and facing forward, breathing. And then inhale, coming up. Release the hands down onto the surface. Inhale up here. And then on our exhale, we're going to straighten into our half split. Here we've already done our movement, so we're just going to hold it. Really just stretching through the back of the hamstrings, taking deep breaths and just releasing the body. In our half split, the front foot is flexed, so we're drawing the toes towards the shin. Inhale, and then come forward, picking up the right hand, and the right foot comes to the outside of the right hand. And we're now in our lizard pose. So I'm just going to come to the side so you can sort of see what I'm doing with the leg here. So with this one, we're just going to lean or sway side to side rather, opening up the hips. And once again here, you can really play with it as much as you want. You can move the hips in a sort of almost circular fashion. If you feel open enough, you can even come onto the side of the foot as you come to the side. Really just opening up the hips however you like. Taking deep breaths. And then bringing the foot up onto its sole, or you can leave it on its side. And then we're just going to hold this pose here. If you're feeling comfortable enough, or if you're feeling flexible enough, you can maybe even come down onto your elbows. If you can't exactly reach the elbows onto the ground or onto the bed or whatever surface you're on, this is where you would maybe use blocks. So you can have the blocks here under the elbows, or you can use your pillow. And you can actually just really relax here. Taking deep breaths. On our next inhale, we're going to come up, moving the pillow away or the block away if you have. And then we're going to heel toe the foot all the way to the other hand, so the right foot to the left hand. And then as we allow the knee to come down, we can allow the foot to come in as much as it needs to. Inhale, pushing yourself up, squaring off the hips, so the left hip is pushing down. And then exhale, coming down onto the elbows. Once again, you can have your pillow here in front of you, just resting on your pillow. Or you can just stack the fists and then place the head on the fists. Or you can stretch the arms and relax your head onto whatever surface you're on. Taking big breaths. On our next inhale, we're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders, push the body up, tuck the back toes, lift up the body, and bring the knee out from underneath. I'm going to come back onto my side now. And then you can just shake it out a little bit if you feel you need to. We're going to go straight onto the other side. So we first move the right hip or the right knee back a little bit. And then, we bring the left foot in between hands. And then we inhale up here. On our exhale, straightening the front leg. Doesn't have to straighten all the way. And then we inhale, come back forward. And again, exhale, coming back. And inhale, coming forward. And then continuing to move with your breath. Really paying attention to the body loosening as we move. Maybe we can get the legs to straighten. Maybe we can lean the hips forward a little bit more. Taking some nice deep breaths. On our next inhale, we're going to come forward and then stay here. We're going to bring the hands on top of the knees. And we push away from the knee, coming up tall. Breathing. Taking big breaths. And then we release the left hand down onto the surface. Right arm comes up. Inhale up here. As we exhale, we come over. And then inhale, coming up again. And then once again, you can do whatever you like here. You can really accentuate the movement as much as you want. Just making sure that you're breathing. And of course, not hurting yourself. Just really relaxing. Getting a nice stretch through the side of the body here. And then our last time, coming over on our exhale and then just holding it here. Making sure the hips are still square, facing forward. Not leaning over towards the left too much with the leg. Breathing. And then we inhale, come over, releasing the hands down, and then inhale. On your exhale, straightening the front leg. And then we release into our half split. And like I said on the other side, in our half split, we flex the front foot. So we're really drawing the toes towards the knee. Breathing. Once again, just allowing the body to release. On our next inhale, we come forward, lifting the left hand, heel toeing the foot to the outside of the hand. And then we just sway side to side here in our lizard pose. Remember, you can come all the way to opening up the foot onto its side if you like. Really just doing whatever you'd like to loosen up the body. Taking deep breaths. And then either coming onto your sole or leaving the foot out on its side if you like. And we're going to come into our static hold, so either hands on the floor or on the bed or on whatever surface you're on, or you can come down onto your elbows, or you can have your blocks underneath your elbows or a pillow, whatever you like, maybe 2 pillows, whatever you like. Just taking deep breaths and just enjoying your stretch here. Just allowing the body to completely loosen and surrender. And then on our next inhale, we come up, heel toeing the foot all the way to the other hand, so to the right hand now. And then as we allow the knee to come down, we can allow the foot to come in as needed, straightening that back leg a little bit more. Inhale, push yourself up, really squaring off the hips, so pushing the right hip down. And then as we exhale, we come down onto our elbows. And then we can either stay here, stacking the fists, or we can straighten the arms. Taking big breaths, really surrendering to the stretch. Imagine all the air that you're breathing going straight into the butt cheeks, or the one butt cheek, and the thighs. On our next inhale, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, pushing yourself up, tucking toes, and then we lift the leg out from underneath the body. Shake it out a little bit. I don't know about you, but I felt like I could sleep in that pose. And then we just bring the hands forward a little bit, stretch the legs back, and we're going to drop the hips into our cobra. We want the wrists to be underneath the shoulders, and really push out of those shoulders, getting the shoulders as far away from the ears as possible. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, straightening the legs into our upward dog. Might be a bit difficult on a bed, but we can do what we can do. And then exhale back into your child's pose. Inhale, come forward, and then on into your seated position. And then we're going to bring the legs all the way out as wide as we can. I'm going to plop a pillow underneath my bum because my bum is sinking into the bed. Feel free to do the same. So we're just going to start off with our dynamic stretches. So we're just going to sway side to side. You can incorporate the arms if you'd like. I would suggest it. Maybe with time. Taking some nice deep breaths. And then we're going to sway side to side, but then not coming up. So in the middle, here please use your arms. So just coming side to side with the arms, coming forward. You can drag the arms on the floor or on whatever surface you're on. I'm just not doing that because it's going to make a lot of noise. Taking big breaths. And then come to center, exhale, roll the spine up, bring the arms around you, inhale, arms up. And then we exhale, come forward and really reaching forward. Flexing both feet, drawing the toes towards the shins. Gently bringing the hands over to the right side, so over to the right foot. Placing your right hand on the inside of the right leg. It's okay if you're all the way up on the hand. We all have different flexibilities. And then we're going to inhale, opening up the chest, bringing the left arm up and over the head. See if you can look up from underneath the head, or from underneath the armpit. And then here again, depending on your flexibility, maybe you can even reach your toes with your left hand. And if you can then use the right hand to grab onto the foot as well. This is a really great stretch, especially for those of us who spend a lot of time sitting, staring at a screen. Remember to make sure that the feet are flexed. Breathing. And then on your exhale, closing off the chest once again, coming over to the middle. And then we go over to the left side, placing the left hand on the inside, opening up the chest. Right arm comes over, and if you can reach your foot, grabbing onto that foot. Looking up from under the armpit, wherever you are. Taking deep breaths. Making sure both feet are flexed once again. Can be easy to forget. arm. Then on our exhale, closing off the chest, coming to the center. Inhale, see if you can go a little further. And then on your next exhale, we're going to roll the spine, coming all the way back up. Bringing the legs together. We're just going to do a quick stretch through the shoulders once again. So bringing the one arm, the right arm in front of the body, left elbow comes over the right elbow. Just pulling the arm into the chest. I don't really think this is a yoga pose, but I think it's quite effective. Taking deep breaths. And then we're going to do the other side. And then we can release, coming down onto your back. And I just feel it's completely appropriate to end this off with a nice twist. So bring both legs up, bringing the right leg over the left leg. And then we're going to turn both legs over onto the left side, and the head looks over to the right. You can place the left left hand on the knee if you like. Just coming into a gentle twist through the spine. Taking nice deep breaths still. And then we come up and twisting the legs, and then we bring the left knee over the leg, twisting over onto the right side, and we look over onto the left side, and we can place the right hand on the knee. Taking deep breaths once again. And then we inhale, bringing both knees up. And then we can straighten both legs, releasing the arms to the sides, allowing the feet to lay open. Bringing the hands, palms facing upward, shoulders away from the ears, and then we lift up the head, bring the chin in, drop the head back down, so we elongate through the back of the neck. And then here we just release the body. So, if maybe you are doing this before you sleep as well, then you can just get into your bed, get out of the blankets, and just lay on your back for maybe 5 minutes. And then if you can't sleep on your back, then turning over into whatever position you sleep in, and just allow the body to doze off. If you're doing this in between things in the middle of the day, then just staying here for once again 5 or 10 minutes, however long you'd like. And then coming out after you're done. While we're here, whether you're doing this right before you sleep or you're doing this in the middle of the day, just bringing the mind into the body. We scan through each part of the body, making sure that we're completely relaxed throughout the body, either scanning from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes, if you'd like to energize the body, or from your toes all the way up to your head, if you'd like to release and completely relax the body while both of them are relaxing.
And then once you're done with your scan through the body, we bring the mind into the present moment. And in this present moment, all that we are really doing is laying on the floor and breathing, or laying on the bed and breathing, wherever you are. So in this time, we just focus on the breath, feeling the air coming in, coming out of the nostrils, and feeling as the belly rises and falls with each breath. Now usually I would stay here with you and come up and greet you goodbye, but because of the nature of this video and because I am trying to take a nap after this, I am going to leave you here and wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Remember to reflect back on the intention that you set at the beginning of the practice, and to thank yourself for dedicating this time to your mind and to your body. I thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.